Welcome. Foundational theories of organization. This is one of the important topic in the course public administration. That understanding the core principles that govern the organizational structure, behavior, and effectiveness is crucial for any student or professional in the field. So this presentation or this lecture is means to explore the two major fundamental perspectives, the classical theory and the humanistic or socio-psychological theory, providing the historical context and the core trends of for modern organizational study. So let's start. The classical theory of organization, that is the machine view that's emerged in 19th century and 20th 19th to early 20th century, viewing the organization as a rational mechanical system built for efficiency. It focuses on the structure. It emphasizes is its emphasis placed on the formal structure, clear hierarchical position, and rules to ensure systematic and predictable outputs. Goal efficiency is better. The primary objective is the maximization of the productivity through rigorous specialization and division of labor. So, Max Weber's policy of bureaucracy works here, the division of labor. Uh, Key pillars of classical organizational theory, those are the formal structure of hierarchy. We'll see that authority and roles are clearly defined, ensuring a rigid chain of command and systematic control. There is a unity of command. Every employee reports exclusively to one supervisor to prevent conflicting infrastructure and maintain order. Division of labor is the important one. The tasks are broken down into smaller and specialized kinds of functions and repeatable steps and leading to high specialization. There is a rationality that all decision making is expected to be logical, systematic, and purely rule based, maintaining emotional interference. Classical theorists are Frederick W. Taylor. Scientific management, he introduced time and motion studies 1911 and performance based incentives, advocated for the scientific selection and training of the workers to optimize the task execution, and default in administrative management, Taylor in scientific management and default in administrative management. He defined the 14 principles of management and five management functions: planning, organization, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. And Max Weber, the most important bureaucratic theory he introduced, described the ideal rational legal organization. His theory is called Ideal Rational Legal Organization, 1947, by fixed hierarchies, impersonal rules. Third is merit-based recruitment system. So these are the major contributors of classical theory of organization. The second one is the humanistic theory of organization. It's emerging as a critique of the rigid classical theory. The humanistic uh, or the it may be called a socio-psychological theory. It centers on human elements, emotions, motivation, group dynamics, and relationships, viewing organization as complex and social system. So the core principles of this theory are social interactions. It recognizes the critical influence of informal groups, social needs, and peer relationships on overall productivity and morale. Motivation and needs are the important one. The pillars emphasizes understanding human psychological needs and leveraging intrinsic motivation rather than solely economic incentives. Then comes participation and teamwork. This is an important one, that directional communication advocates for multi-directional communications, employee involvement, and sportive participative leadership styles. Uh, Open system view. This theory views the organization as an open system, constantly interacting with and being influenced by the external environment. Who were the pioneers of this theory? There's a shift from classical to this economic means the implies as being economic beings and social and psychological beings revolutionized this management. So Eldon Mayer, Arthron studies his 1924 to 1932 is experiments demonstrated that attention and social factors significantly improved worker productivity, launching the human relation uh, movement. Then come Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. 1943 model proposed that human motivation is driven by a hierarchy of five needs from physiological to self-actualization. Then come Douglas McGregor theory X and Y. They presented two contrasting management assumptions in 1960 about human nature. Theory X implies are inherently lazy, and theory Y that implies are inherently motivated and seek responsibility. So that's a very much important contribution in the theory of organization. Now there is a critique where the theories fall short. Classical theories criticism, let's see. Classical theory overlooks the complex social and human factors in a workplace. It treats implies mechanically like a machine, neglecting motivation and job satisfaction. It is too rigid and hierarchical in nature and making it poorly suited for rapidly changing and dynamic environments. Now comes towards the humanistic theory. That humanistic theory can be overly idealistic and regarding innate human motivations and cooperations. It tends to be less focused on structural efficiency and systematic procedures, and there is a difficulty in objectivity measuring and quantifying psychological and social factors. Now, there is a comparative analysis of foundational theories, focus, structure, rules, efficiency, people, motivation, and relationship. The first view of organization focuses structural, mechanical system, then people, motivation, and relationship, social system, view of workers, economic being, and then social and psychological beings. Decision making centralized, and there is participated communication. There is a formal and there is informal, or there is a top down, there is a multi-directional. So there is a conclusion regarding the two theories interacting structure and people. Like let's see that balanced organization, like we see that contextual balance, people and culture, they're playing structure and efficiency. But the balanced organization is playing a more balanced important role. The modern theories and classical theories and humanistic theories. So that's the end of today's discussion. Thank you very much.